Hello and welcome to a fresh new episode of Science Monitor, our weekly update on all that is happening in the field of science and technology in and around the country. Concerns over melting glaciers to creating artificial humans. We have a lot to discuss today, but let us begin with the headlines. Gangotri Glacier shrinking, experts warn serious consequences. A novel onion transplanter will now ease work for farmers. Will scientists play God? Human Genome Project right will decide. In our In Focus segment today, we will discuss about the history and science of fabrics. And now news in detail. Rivers are the lifelines of our country. These rivers in turn are fed by the glaciers of Himalayas. But looks like these lifelines will soon dry up as researchers discover that the glaciers are fast shrinking owing to reduced snowfall and rapid melting of ice. According to experts, Gangotri, the most famous Himalayan glacier that feeds river Ganga, has already retreated by 3 kilometers in the past 2 decades.
Soaring temperatures, drought in 10 states, shrinking farmlands, spreading forest fires. The wrath of summer and greenhouse effect is being felt all over the country. While we may not be aware, but far away in the north, the Himalayas are also undergoing some drastic changes silently. Recent research by a team from the Jawaharlal Nehru University, supported by the Earth Journalism Network and the Third Pole, has come out with alarming conclusions.
Gangotri is unique because it's large. It's over 30 kilometers long. And being a long glacier, it has a large area where melting takes place, number one. Number two, possibly the response time of larger glaciers is longer in terms of melting as compared to the smaller glaciers, as we presume that the events which took place 1,000 years ago, 1,500 years ago, is reflected in the glacier now, the Gomukh now. It has shown retreat, considerable retreat past 400 years.
According to experts, the world-famous Gangotri Glacier in the Himalayas, which feeds the river Ganga, has retreated by 3 kilometers in the last 2 centuries. The retreat, according to scientists at the National Institute of Hydrology, Roorkee, is caused due to decreased winter precipitation and lesser ice formation than the current rate of melting. Though a 3-kilometer retreat over a period of 2 centuries might sound insignificant at first glance, research points out that the retreat rate has increased sharply since 1971 and is an alarming 22 meters per year presently.
We are definitely losing because vertical thinning is taking place right from Kirtibamak downstream, so which is not good in a way, because we are going to interpret that Gomukh is going up and up. It will go up, but then it will again come back to normal, maybe after 1,000 years, maybe after 500 years, we do not.
Exploring the reasons, data indicates that this Himalayan region has received very little snowfall during the last year. Result: the Gangotri Glacier, which appeared convex-shaped earlier, now appears to be caving in and is concave due to rapid melting of ice. Himalayan glaciers like Gangotri form a major part of the country's freshwater resources, feeding source streams like the Bhagirathi River, which in turn feeds India's major rivers like the Ganga. Hence, the retreat of Himalayan glaciers could prove to be a survival challenge in itself. Not only this, the rapid melting of ice has given rise to many small lakes on top of the glacier, like the glacier lake in Chorabadi, whose blast led to the June 2013 flood disaster in Kedarnath. While the consequences of retreating glaciers of Himalayas could prove to be drastic, experts also warn that the climate change phenomenon of melting the glaciers could well be irreversible.
In our sandwiches or the curries, onion is an integral part of our diet. In fact, India is the second leading producer of onions in the world. But growing onions can be a task in itself. Easing the tedious and time-taking task of onion cultivation is the novel onion transplanter, which has come as a boon to farmers.
India's economy rests largely on agriculture, where many crops like wheat, paddy, mustard and oilseeds are grown. India is also the second largest producer of onion after China, with the state of Maharashtra producing 1/3 of the onions. Onion crops are cultivated twice a year. But planting onions is not a simple task. Farmers, while planting onions, use one hand to make the beds and the other to plant the seedlings at equal distance on the ground. Hence, onion planting is a tedious and time-consuming process. Now, easing this tough task, Pandharinath Sajirao from Ahmednagar, Maharashtra, has created a new technology. Mr. Pandharinath has developed an innovative onion transplanter which multitasks 3 jobs together. The onion transplanter is a semi-automatic unit that can be run along with the tractors.
इसको जो है 5 लेबर लगते हैं। एक दिन में 2 एकड़ लगवाता। इसको खाली जो लेबर का जो है किसान लोगों को बहुत समस्या आ रही है। इससे लेबर का जो है पूरा मनी बच जाता है और लेबर का भी काम बोले तो आसान हो जाता है। जैसे कि लेबर बैठ के जो दोनों पैर पे बैठ के उनका घुटना, पेट, कमर जो उनको जो तकलीफ होती है, इससे मशीन से बैठ के उनको खाली पौधा छोड़ने का रहता, इसलिए मशीन से बहुत काम आसान हो गया। तो बहुत लोग उसको बेहतर अच्छा मानते हैं क्या ओनियन ट्रांसप्लांटर ये अच्छे तरह से चलता है। तो इनको हमने बाहर देशों में भी एक्सपोर्ट किया है, साउथ अफ्रीका में किया था। उसके बाद अभी राजस्थान, हरियाणा, पंजाब, एमपी, यूपी इस साइड भी बहुत चल रहा है।
The transplanter has a ground plowing frame, a fertilizer box, a tube to deliver the fertilizers to the ground, plant trays and plows to make the beds along with the provision to seed 4 people. Using this technique, the beds are created by the transplanter as the tractor moves and also dispense the fertilizers automatically through the tube. The farmers sitting on the machine are only required to place the seedlings in the bed. With the help of this technology, it is possible to plant onions in a hectare of land within 8 hours. The device has been developed at a cost of Rs 18,000, while with the fertilizer drill, it is priced at Rs 30,000. Using this novel technique, farmers can minimize the effort and time required for onion planting.
Science has indeed come a long way, up to the point of creating synthetic bacteria in lab. But taking a step further is a group of researchers. Now, their ambitious undertaking involves creating synthetic human genome. While this might sound straight out of fiction, this is exactly what the recently announced Human Genome Project, RIGHT, aims to do. Though one section is excited about the possibilities, the other mulls over the serious ethical concerns. Let us see this report.
2003, the news of mapping the first human genome, which enabled researchers to sequence the entire human DNA and to identify and locate all the genes of the human genome, took the world by storm. Human Genome Project. By deciphering the entire genetic code, paved way towards understanding biology and diseases at molecular level and devising new therapies. Now, Human Genome Project takes a new avatar as a group of international researchers has announced the launching of Human Genome Project RIGHT. The project, which was announced recently after a high-level closed-door meeting at Harvard Medical School, which was conducted last month, aims to build an entirely synthetic human genome within 10 years. According to reports, the meeting was through invitation only and attended by 130 scientists, policy leaders, and entrepreneurs. While a team of researchers under Dr. Craig Venter have already succeeded at creating synthetic genome of bacteria with minimal genes this March, post the meeting 25 researchers have outlined their proposals to create synthetic human genomes in the journal Science. While the announcement has come out big, the research community is divided over the issue. While a group of researchers believe that the project will give new insights into human biology and diseases, reduce the cost of testing human genomes, develop new technologies and transformative medical applications, the other points out to the ethical concerns that surrounds the proposal. Though researchers propose to limit the experiments in the petri dish, concerns loom over ethical issues such as creation of designer babies with specific traits. According to scientists, they'll attempt to raise $100 million of private and public funding over the next decade and collaborate with international groups in order to create the synthetic human genome. Till when it has target.
And now it is time to take a short break. We'll be back with more science news. Keep watching Science Monitor. Welcome back after the break. You're watching Science Monitor. Let us now have a look at some important science and technology activities happening in India and abroad in our next segment, Science Express.
India has cleared the first hurdle of the nuclear supplies group as US diplomats have reiterated support for Indian membership recently. According to reports, India has met all the criteria and has not faced any objections about the membership from other members. The president has voiced his support for India.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, we think MTCR membership is imminent, and we spent a lot of time talking about NSG membership, and the president's very strongly supportive of India's accession into all the four export control regimes, including NSG. We're going to work really hard on that.
NSG, a 48-nation club that governs trade in commercial nuclear technology and was originally set up in response to India's first atomic weapons test in 1974. However, China, who is a member of NSG, has backed the membership of Pakistan and blocked India's bid. Dismissing the conclusions of an American study on pollution, Indian government has rejected the report that Indians lose 6 years of their lives because of pollution. The report has been published in the Geophysical Research Letters Journal of the American Geophysical Union.
Study is not done on sampling, not done on ground study. It is not based on long-term observations. So this is completely unnecessary, defames India.
According to experts, country's Earth Sciences Department also does not agree with the findings. According to a World Health Organization survey conducted last month, India has half of the 20 most polluted cities in the world. country's monsoon forecasting is now getting a high-tech makeover. India's meteorology office will now spend $60 million on a new supercomputer to improve the accuracy of weather forecasts for next year's rains.
We will be running a model at literally 10 to 12 kilometer resolution. So we will be able to generate forecasts at every 10 to 12 kilometer forecast for next 3 to 4 days. So that's what we have planned. For that, still our present computer may not be enough, so we need to multiply by about 10 times. So we are going to have another machine computer, a very large scale computer with 10 times, which is 10 times faster than the present computer.
This is a part of upgrading the weather forecasting infrastructure in the country, as better forecasting could help India raise its farm output by nearly 15%. In a novel discovery, a team of researchers from Sydney have discovered 7 new species of peacock spiders. The names published in the journal Pechamia brings the total number of known species of peacock spiders to 48. Peacock spiders are tiny, spectacularly colored and native to Australia. Each of the new species has 8 legs, forward-facing eyes and furry bodies. But their colors and patterns are highly variable. While one species is brown and white and mimics a wasp, others are brightly colored and iridescent scales.
Clothes, one of the basic human necessities. While animals are blessed with abundant body hair, fur and feathers, humans had to devise artificial clothing to protect themselves from the elements of nature. But over the years, the science of developing different types of fabrics have also evolved. From cotton to jute to nylon, rayon and chiffon, today we have a wide variety of fabrics to choose from. Where can we trace their origin and how are they made? Well, this would be the topic of our discussion in our segment In Focus.
While the primary application of clothes is to protect our bodies from natural elements like temperature, wind, rain, etc., most of us would admit that our clothing reflects our personality in some way. Besides, who doesn't want to look nice? Warm like wool, breathable like cotton, smooth as silk, shiny as rayon. Today, fabrics and textiles are one of the largest industries of the world. According to experts, fabrics is one of the most important innovations of mankind and is associated with the beginnings of agriculture and rise of human civilization. Perhaps the oldest cloth known to mankind is a reed skirt, dated 5,900 years old from the southeastern Armenia. Initially, man depended on natural fibers to create crude fabric. Some of these natural fabrics are very familiar to us and is derived either from plant or animal sources. Starting with the king of fabrics, cotton. Cotton is obtained from the fibers of the seed pod of the cotton plant, scientifically known as gossypium. Cotton is purely made of cellulose, which makes up the walls of plant cells. Another fabric familiar to us is the wool, which is spun from the hair of sheep and other animals like llamas, vicuñas, horses, camels, etc. Wool is made of a special fibrous protein called keratin, similar to the one found in our hair. Linen is another popular fabric which is known for its flexibility and water-transmitting properties. Linen is made from the fibers of the stem of the flax plant known as linum. Like cotton, linen is composed of cellulose but has a more crystalline structure, making it stronger, crisper and stiffer. Denim, one of the most favorite among youngsters, is a type of cotton fabric woven in such a way that the threads produce a distinctive diagonal ribboning on the underside of the fabric. Jute is made from the surface fibers of a small tree called coccorus. Who can forget silk, the queen of fabrics. Silk, which is believed to have originated in China, is produced by heat-treating the cocoons of silkworm, Bombyx mori, which are fed on mulberry leaves. Silk is made of a protein called fibroin. It is interesting to note that chiffon and georgette were originally made of silk fabric, which is today also manufactured artificially. While manufacturing synthetic fibers, liquid chemicals are forced through tiny holes called spinnerets, which, on contact with air, forms tiny threads which are woven to fabrics. Polyester is soft, strong and resistant to shrinkage, and is sometimes spun together with natural fibers to produce a cloth with blended properties. Nylon, which is a very common synthetic fiber, is made of aliphatic or semi-aromatic polyamides derived from petroleum. Nylon is quick drying and easy to clean but does not absorb moisture. While both are strong, nylon, unlike polyester, is stretchable but cannot be dry cleaned. Spandex or lycra is a synthetic fiber known for its exceptional elasticity and is made from polyester polyurethane copolymer. It is interesting to note that the name spandex is an anagram of the word expands. These are but for a very few examples of natural and synthetic fabrics we come across in our day-to-day lives. But fabric industry is ever growing and rapidly evolving to come up with newer materials with unprecedented properties.
Well, that is all for this episode of Science Monitor. Do tell us how do you like our program. You can send your feedback and suggestions. Our email ID is news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write in to us at Vigyan Prasar C24, Qutub Institutional Area, New Delhi 110016. Well, that is all for today. We'll be back with fresh news stories on science and technology again next week. Till then, stay tuned to Rajya Sabha TV and think scientific. Bye-bye.